Hey guys, it's Tina here. Welcome back to my channel. It has been way too long since I filmed a Q&A video for you guys where you guys get to ask Tina anything. So I put it out on my Instagram recently and asked you guys to leave any questions you have for me in the comment section. Now, I received lots and lots of questions, so thank you to everyone who left a comment. I'm going to try to get through as many as I can today. I'm going to categorize them into like makeup questions, like makeup tips and related questions, work related, like how I stay inspired, all that stuff, and then maybe the tougher questions with like relationships at the end. So I'll try to leave timestamps so you guys can sort of skip ahead depending on what you're interested in knowing. I'm just going to go through them on my phone. I'm going to start off with the easier makeup related questions. What is your favorite makeup combinations, colors to use, styles of makeup? I love warm sort of colors. I love oranges, I love pinks. I've been loving yellow. If you guys have noticed, I love yellow eyeshadow. In terms of styles of makeup, I love how the Koreans do their makeup. I love the dewy skin. I love the Japanese sort of blush styles and they look really cute, and I love their contact lenses, and I still love the really contoured look. So for me personally, I like to sort of mix and match techniques from each sort of style and create my own look. So I would say like a combination of everything. Do you have a day where you're totally lazy to wear any makeup and just went outside with bare face, totally zero makeup? I think I am barefaced more than I have makeup on. I usually don't wear a lot of makeup out, to be honest. Especially in Singapore, it gets quite hot, and to be honest, I don't really go out much, so there's really no need to wear a lot of makeup. How long have you been doing makeup for? Ooh, good question. I think it would have been like 6-7 years now. Yeah, around there. How do you take care of your teeth? Do you use something to make them whiter? You have a beautiful smile. Thank you so much. I'm going to admit it, I cheated. I have composite veneers. See, my top 8 teeth, they're veneers. So my teeth underneath, they're a bit like shorter. They're not as nice and obviously not as like pretty as these. So I got these done, how long? So it was before I got married. So I was 20, so that's like almost 8 years ago I got these. And when I got them, the dentist whitened my teeth first, so I took home a whitening kit where you just use it for like 10 nights. So I used it sort of every second night because my teeth got really sensitive, to whiten my teeth first, and then he popped on the composite veneers. Why did you choose to do this video? Good question, because I haven't done a Q&A video in ages. Why did I decide to do it now? Lately I've been feeling really disconnected, like from my channel, from you guys. I feel like I've been lacking a little bit of inspiration, and I thought, this is a great time to sort of reconnect with you and not really talk about like specific like makeup like technique or Tina tries it video. I want to sort of dedicate this whole video to speaking with you guys, to connecting with you, so that's why I did it. Can you talk a little bit more about your eyelid procedure? I would love to know more about it. I think I mentioned ages ago that I did get double eyelid surgery. I got this probably like 8 years ago too, and like one of my eye, it's sort of like lost its shape a little bit, so I use eyelid tape to sort of even it out now. But in regards to what I had, I didn't have the full incision, so there's a couple ways that you can get your double eyelid surgery done, and it depends on your current sort of like eye shape and the sort of like thickness of your lid. So with mine, I got stitches, so it's like, I think I got like 3 stitches, and he did a little incision at the sort of like start of my lid. So that sort of anchors my lid down to create that nice crease, but that doesn't last forever, as like one of my sort of stitch already sort of came out, so that's why it's uneven. In regards to, say like, was it painful? It wasn't painful. It kind of feels like you cried a lot and your eyes are super swollen, and they're super swollen for about a week or to like maybe like 7 to 9 days. That's how mine was done years ago, but I'm sure there are new techniques. I've heard that there's ways that they sort of like stitch under your eyelid. I know it sounds really scary, but apparently it doesn't leave any scars. But if you guys are interested in that, make sure you sort of seek a proper consultation from a cosmetic surgeon or a doctor or someone, you know, professional. Don't just take my advice. This is just my experience with double eyelid surgery. When will you restock some of your lashes? I really want to purchase some, but many are sold out. I'm so sorry they're sold out. I'm actually in the process of tweaking some of the designs, so I think I will be able to restock at the end of next month, but I will let you guys know. So just follow me on Instagram and I'll keep you guys posted. What's the very first makeup set you owned, like a full face makeup collection? There was no specific set that I owned, but I do remember the first eyeshadow palette I got, and it was from BH Cosmetics. Like, it was one of those, like, I don't know, was it like 99 colors or like a palette with all sort of eyeshadows. That was my first makeup palette. Before that, I guess I did buy some like drugstore foundations and stuff, but totally the wrong color. I think I was around like 16 at that time, and I would just put eyeliner on. I think I used like a kohl eyeliner and lip gloss. That was my makeup routine. What's your top 3 mascaras for your lashes? My top 3 mascaras are the Brow Lash X Lash Sculpture Mascara. This one's really good. I love it for my lower lashes. Then I have the Kevyn Aucoin The Volume Mascara. And then I've got the April Skin, Magic Cara. So it's got like a mini side, a mini brush side, and then it's just got the regular mascara wand on the other side. So this one's really good too. Do you prefer dewy or matte makeup? I prefer dewy makeup. What's my current favorite foundation? I like the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, and today I am wearing the Laneige, which one is this? The Anti-Aging Cushion Foundation. So that's what I have on my skin now. When you first started doing makeup, was it bad? Did people make fun of it ever? I think when anyone starts doing makeup for the first time, it's generally not that great, and that was the same with me. I look back at the photos now and I'm like, oh, I should have like done the brows differently, or the eyeshadow's not blended really nicely. But it's all a part of, like, you know, the learning process. The more you do it, the better you get, and you slowly develop your own style. And no one really ever made fun of it. Well, not that I know. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that for the makeup related questions. If you guys have more questions, just leave them below. Maybe I'll just do like a dedicated makeup tips sort of a video for that. Moving on to more like work and business sort of stuff. If you know what you know now about your life, YouTube career, etc., would you do anything different? Would I do anything different? Not necessarily. I don't think I would change anything. There's nothing that I like fully regret that I'm like, I wish I changed that. But I guess if I did like change something a little bit, I think it would have been like, I wish I started YouTube sooner. I think for a long time I lacked that confidence, and I always had that fear that, oh, like, what if people don't like my stuff? Like, what if no one views it? I'm gonna look like an idiot. What will people say? And a lot of it was just like, I was really not confident with who I was, and I was just scared of being judged. So if I could go back in time, or if I could change something, I would just do YouTube much earlier. What inspires you the most? A lot of the time it's when I'm traveling and I visit a new country, I see what they wear, I see what the sort of makeup they have, products, you know, that sort of stuff, as well as, you know, just going online on Instagram, seeing what other people are up to, and just checking out their work, because I feel like, you know, Instagram is a great way to sort of get inspiration and just see what sort of things that are popular. Can you introduce yourself in Vietnamese? I'm so excited with that. Love you. Xin chào các bạn, mình tên là Tina Yong. I'm really bad at Vietnamese, so let's just leave it at that. How did you get to be this popular in the makeup industry? Please answer. I need some tips. I just kept doing what I liked and sort of created my own sort of style and how I present and make videos and edit, as well as my own series. So Tina Tries It is a big hit with you guys. So I just kept doing what I loved. There was no specific like trick that I had up my sleeve that helped me get more popular. And I think it was just over time, as you keep creating content and more people watch it, you know, your following grows and you become more popular. But don't let that define you. I think you should just focus on creating content that you like, that you love, that you're proud of, and, you know, slowly the rest will come. Have you ever got bullied in school? Not like where it really like damaged, my self-confidence or anything, but there were times that people were mean to me. I remember I was waiting for the bus, and my school bus would pick up from another school first, so the kids on the other school would always sit at the back, and there were these boys at the back of the bus that would always sort of like make little comments. And one day when I was waiting for the bus, they popped their head outside the window and threw a water balloon at me, and I was just drenched. So that was really like embarrassing. Growing up, did you have a lot of pressure from your parents to be successful career-wise? Growing up, my parents were really strict, especially my dad. I was like super scared of my dad. He was like, no dating boys, you need to study, you can't go out. And there was a point where like if I wanted to go to the movies, they were like, take your mum with you, take your brother with you. They were really protective. And then my dad sort of like got easier as I got older. But career-wise, they weren't so pushy like that I had to become a specific sort of, have a specific occupation, like become a doctor or an accountant or a lawyer or something like that. But they just wanted me to do well in school and focus on that. I want to start my own channel, but fear has overtaken myself. I worry about too many things, any advice, and I wish to appear as an anonymous. Thanks. Okay, so you're not mentioned, so don't worry. Okay, so you want to start your own channel, but the fear, I know this because I just mentioned like I wish I had started earlier, just because I had that fear as well. My advice, how did I overcome that? I think I just had to take the risk. Do you know what I mean? Like if you want to achieve big things, sometimes it is a bit of a risk. Sometimes you might fail. And in the beginning, I didn't get a lot of views. And if you treat that as failure, don't let that sort of define and stop you, because okay, like my first video wasn't a big hit, but I knew that I could create more videos and it's fine. Because say like on YouTube, the best thing is like if you don't make a video that is popular or gets lots of views, nothing really happens. You can just keep making it. You don't like, it's not like you go to work and you make a mistake and then you get fired. It's like you just keep doing what you want to do and you just get better at that. So there's no like real right or wrong here. Use it as practice time to get better at creating content and just finding your own style. But I think there was no specific tip that I did or like trick that I did to like get myself ready for it. I just like did it. I just took the bullet and just did it. So my advice for you is just put those fears aside. Know that you are enough, that you can do it. I think that self-belief is so important, because if you don't start, I feel like you're already setting yourself for failure because you don't actually take that step. So put that fear aside. Everyone has it. Just know that it's normal. It's going to be there, but then you're going to get better. It's like when you learn to drive a car. You don't like know how to drive a car. I mean, I didn't. I had to, make a few mistakes along the way, but that's just part of the process. Good luck. How do you get motivated when you feel upset or jammed with drama? Actually, with me, I feel like at least once a month I have like a breakdown, like a complete breakdown where I just like bawl my eyes out. I don't know what's happening to me. I feel really sort of like down, upset. And it kind of happens, pretty regularly. I think a lot of people have that. And then I just like literally cry to Alfred. And then I kind of feel better when I let those feelings out. When I hold it all inside, I feel like it just builds up and then it just kills me inside. So when I do have that good cry, I feel better like after. But the thing that motivates me the most is my fear. I know it sounds a bit funny, but I have like my biggest fear is like letting people down. And like lately I feel like the more successful I am, I don't know, I'm getting so like, I have a tissue. I don't know, I'm getting so teary. Sorry, that just came out of nowhere, but obviously this has been affecting me a little bit lately. But I feel like the more successful I am, like when people will say to me, oh my God, congratulations, you've hit 2 million. Like I'm happy, but then I'm also like filled with so much fear that I'm gonna let you guys down. But then that same fear also motivates me to keep going, to do better. And also, like I don't want to let the people I love down, so Alfred or my mum, my family, I try to use that as my motivation. For me, I feel like I'm a little bit different because when people say you can't do something, I'm motivated to do it even more to prove to them. So I think I thrive off more like negativity, to be like, oh, like if I don't do that, this consequence will happen or something. Whereas other people, they need to sort of be nurtured and encouraged to do it. Where me, I'm very different. I think my whole life I've been sort of like told like, oh, you can't do this, or restricted with like, oh, you're not good enough. And so like I use that as motivation. So that's just me. But it depends on, you know, your personality and how you operate. I think it's best to sort of know what motivates you and get to know who you are, and spend that time to get to know yourself, because that's really important too. So yeah, sorry, I totally got emotional there, because I feel like lately I've just hit this big wall, and I think like all these feelings that I've just been like suppressing inside has just like come out. And for a long time that I thought, okay, if I get to 2 million, I'll be so much happier. I'll like have this amazing feeling. And then I think when I got there, I was happy, and that happiness only lasted for a short period. And then, I feel like I'm back at square one. Like, what am I working towards? What's going to make me happy? How am I going to like feel fulfilled and like have purpose in my life? And I'm at that stage now where I'm trying to figure it out again. I think the main difference is when you have that clear vision and goal, it's just so much easier to know like what to do to get there. I feel like, you have that, destination, you can just easily find the direction to that point. Whereas for me now, once I've reached like a goal that I've set previously, I feel a little bit lost. Like, what's my next goal? Is it going to be 3 million? Is that going to make me happier? Is like, what sort of content should I be creating? So literally like for the last few weeks, I've been feeling like this. So yeah, that's why like all those feelings just like rushed out when I just thought about my fears and stuff. So sorry that I got super emotional there. Unlike me. Do you have any plans to expand your cosmetic lines to foundations or even skincare? And a lot of people have been asking me like, am I gonna expand to cosmetics? Because I've done eyelashes and now cosmetic bags. Will I be doing cosmetics in the future? I'd love to. I think doing cosmetics is a really big thing. So say like with lashes and bags, they don't perish, they're sort of like one size fits all sort of thing. I don't need a big color range or different skin types. So these formulas, I'm not really too experienced with that. So if I like were to make my own cosmetic line, I would love to do, a brand collaboration first. You know how a lot of YouTubers or influencers sort of partner up with a brand that's experienced in that field? That's something I'm more interested in at the moment, because I don't feel like I could create the best product possible without having that expert by my side. But if there are products that you want to see, please let me know below, because that will help me brainstorm. Because at the end of the day, I'm creating these products that hopefully will, suit you guys and hopefully be more sort of catered to what you want. So please let me know below if there are sort of specific products that you feel like that are lacking in the market or the industry at the moment. Hi Tina, I'm your fan from Indonesia. I want to ask, in 10 years, what will you do next? And what life goals you really want to reach? Thanks for answering my questions. I love you so much. Whew. This is the question that's really hard for me. For a long time, I had these goals where I'm like, yep, I'm going to hit 1 million, I'm going to hit 2 million, I'm going to grow my business so I can do YouTube full time. And now I've reached all those goals. It's time for me to find these new ones, and hence why I'm not focusing on YouTube solely. Like, I'm creating these other businesses that I enjoy, that I love, the products that I believe in. So the eyelashes, the cosmetic bags, I'm also doing that. So in 10 years, I hope that, these businesses will grow. I want to be financially free, obviously, and also be able to look after my mum, look after my family, my brothers, my dad. I want to have kids as well. So I think in the long run, I just want to create something that's more sustainable, that's more safe, I guess, because say being on YouTube, it's a great gig, don't get me wrong, there's lots of perks to it, but there's a lot of, I guess, cons as well. One of the major cons that's been affecting me a lot lately is comments. Like, a lot of you guys write such lovely comments, and when I go through them, I'm so happy, but then there's like someone that writes something that's not very nice, and then it just kills my mood. And day in, day out, when I read these comments, it does affect me. I know a lot of people say, don't worry about them, just ignore the haters and whatnot. But for me, because my whole business or my whole career on YouTube is built up by you guys, I wouldn't have this without you guys. If you guys don't watch my videos, I literally I can't make a living, right? So when people say, just ignore those hate and just, focus on the good comments. To me, it's hard to sort of just take one without the other. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, yes, I do really appreciate all the positive comments, but I also have to sort of acknowledge, okay, this person, didn't like this because of blah, 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 blah. So, I think for me, I usually take the good and the bad. And I think lately it's just been really affecting me, because not so much the bad comment itself, but I feel like I'm upset with myself that I let it get to me. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I get upset because there's this stranger here that's saying this about my content, and I'm letting myself get upset with it. And I feel like that person has so much power over my day. Even if it's 10 minutes of my day and I feel really down, that's still my time. And I get upset that I feel like I'm a little bit weak, that I give them so much power. So yeah, that's just how I've been feeling lately. I think I just kind of rambled on with that. What other designs or products are you thinking of making next? I'm going to come out with more styles for Petite Cosmetics. I'm working on some designs at the moment, as well as changing up the packaging. With Mark and Scribe, my cosmetic bags, there will be different sizes coming soon. So we're coming out with a sort of medium and a smaller size cosmetic bag, as well as jewelry bags as well. So when you travel, you can pop your jewelry nicely in a bag to keep it safe. So those are some of the products we're working on at the moment. How's living in Singapore so far, and what kind of immigration process you went for? What kind of visa did you guys get? So if you guys didn't know, I did move to Singapore recently, and how we got our visas here is that Alpha and I, we made a company, and our company sponsored us. So we got an employment pass via that company. It is a long process, or can be a long process, depending on all the documents you submit, your work experience, as well as your qualifications. So there is a bit of a process there. A lot of people also asked, why did we decide to move to Singapore? There's no specific one reason, but there's a few reasons why we decided to move. For me, I felt like I was getting a little bit bored of Sydney. I've never lived elsewhere, and I love traveling. Alpha and I love traveling. We travel a lot. And we thought, maybe we should try living abroad a go before we settle down, have kids and everything. So we thought, Singapore is a really good step, because it's not too different from Australia, but it's more closer to other countries that we normally travel to across Asia. Also, I think it's better to have a business here, and I can expand my audience throughout Asia, since I have the look for it. So those were the main sort of reasons why we decided to move. We wanted a change of scenery, we wanted to expand our business, and we just wanted to try it. A lot of people ask, when am I coming to India? I haven't set a date yet, but most likely maybe towards the second half of the year. I'm quite busy around the next few months, so hopefully the second half of the year I can visit India. What is your biggest fear? Like I mentioned before, my biggest fear is letting you guys down, letting the people that I love down, and making a mistake. Do you know what I mean? I know it's human, everyone makes a mistake, but I feel like as, let's say a YouTuber or someone with a big following, when you make a mistake, the internet is not very forgiving. There have been numerous examples online, I'm sure you guys have heard, that people get totally bashed because they made a silly mistake, or they've come out with a product that people just question, and their approach is maybe not the best. But when people make a mistake online and you've got this following, you could lose everything potentially. So I think that's one of my biggest fears, especially seeing a lot of examples like that recently online. It does really scare me that one day if I do mess up, will you guys still watch my videos? Will brands still want to work with me? So that's just that's one of the biggest fears too. Okay, let's move on to more relationship questions. A lot of you guys have been asking me, has Alfred and I spoken about getting married? Are we going to have kids? When's that going to happen? We're still sort of up in the air about it. I know that I want to get married to Alfred, but it's not, I don't know, I feel like because we've both already been married before, so I feel like, you know, signing the papers and having that document doesn't really change too much in our opinion. So there's no sort of urgency for us to get married, because I feel like we're already married. You know what I mean? We're a team. We like live together. We do everything together. We take care of each other. So there's no real difference there. About kids, yes, I want kids. Alfred wants kids too. When? We just don't know. If it happens, it happens. But obviously, I'd like to be married and then have kids. So we just don't know when. I'm like 28 this year, so possibly in the next like 2-3 years, maybe we'll have a baby, who knows. But yeah, we have been speaking about it. It is in the books, but I just feel like I need to sort of set myself up financially first and just sort of be as prepared as I can be. I know a lot of people say there's really no way to prepare for it, but I just want to be able to, you know, save enough money, because I do take care of my mum and I want to be able to take care of my dad and my brothers too. So I just want to have that finance sort of all stable and okay before I bring a baby into this world. So yeah. Next question, why did you get divorced? I did mention it before. I got divorced from my first marriage about 3.5 years into the relationship. And it was simply because we were not seeing eye to eye with what we wanted in life. And because of that, it really affected our relationship, and I just felt like, you know, I couldn't be who I wanted to be if I continued to be with this person. So like we just wanted different things in life, and that was like a major factor. So I feel like, yeah, that was the main reason. Have you ever had to deal with your parents not approving of your boyfriend? How did you deal with it? So all three parties, your boyfriend and parents, can come to a solution. I have not really had that experience. My mum like loves everybody. You guys have seen my mum. My mum cannot hate on anybody. So any boyfriends that I did date, she liked them all. My dad, however, my dad and I have a very sort of different relationship. I'm not that close to him. So my dad and my mum are sort of separated. They're not together. So he's not like a big part of my life, but I mean, he's still a part of my life, but he's not as close to me as my mum. So my dad's always sort of like distant. I don't really like tell him much, you know, it's more like the daughter and mum relationship that I tell her everything. But in regards to your question, how do you make all three parties happy or come to a solution? You know, I think you have to face it that maybe not everyone's going to be completely 100% happy, but everyone needs to sort of meet in the middle somewhere. You need to find a common ground, because it's draining. It can be really hard when, you know, you have to have, you know, your boyfriend on one side and your parents, and you like feel like you have to pick and choose. So if everyone meets in the middle somehow, it may be having that uncomfortable like conversation with, you know, your parents separately and your boyfriend, and coming to that understanding and just being really open and honest and just communicating. I think a lot of the time when it comes to any sort of relationship, you need to communicate. Like sometimes it may be uncomfortable, like telling them how you actually feel, but if you don't tell them, they don't know, and you just need to sort of like take charge and do it and have that conversation, even if it is a little bit weird and uncomfortable. But that would be my advice. Who is the biggest person that influenced your life? I would say my dad, even though he's not, like we're not as close. I see the things that my dad's done right and the things that he's done wrong, and that's really influenced me, because, you know, part of me is like, I never want to turn out like that. I never want to do that. So I guess like learning from my dad has been a big game changer for me. I think throughout my life, I've always sort of based my decisions on that for some reason. Also my mum as well. My mum's super nice, like way too nice sometimes, that I worry for her, because she's just so naive and can get easily, you know, scammed. You know, she's so nice that if people are like, oh, like, this so-and-so needs money because, you know, they're poor or this is happening, she would gladly give, like, she would empty her pockets for them. And that's the type of person my mum is. And so I see that and I'm like, okay, she's got such a big heart, but she also needs to be very careful. But yeah, I think my parents, they're the two people that have influenced my life the most, whether it be like good or bad. I feel guilty, scared and uncomfortable having sex with someone I barely know. What advice do you have for teenagers who make mistakes like this in their lives? If you feel scared, uncomfortable or guilty, I don't think it's a good reason to do it. Or if you already have had sex with someone and you feel like this, don't let it define who you are. Take it as a lesson so next time you don't make that same mistake again. But sex is a very personal decision. It's something that you should feel comfortable with if you decide to do it. Don't feel pressured into doing it because, you know, the other person or, you know, your friends are doing it. I feel like you need to be ready and comfortable with the decision yourself. So don't let others tell you otherwise, because you're totally worth more than that. And don't let a mistake like that define who you are either. Have you and Alfred ever stumbled upon a very serious problem that made you think it's better to end the relationship? How did you manage to overcome it? There was no big problem that we stumbled across that I felt like we needed to end, or he felt like we needed to end the relationship. For us, I think the sort of biggest problem we've had was when we first started working together. It was a little bit difficult because we were just very, very different in terms of how we like to work. He came from like a 9 to 5 sort of environment, whereas me, I'm just like working all the time and maybe too much and always thinking about work. So having that communication and finding a common ground where we can both meet and function best. So we did have a bit of problem there, but I think communication really helped solve that, and just sort of being really honest with each other and just telling each other how we feel. You know, a lot of the time it's really uncomfortable for a lot of people to express how they feel towards each other. But Alfred and I made it clear from the beginning that we should do that when we started dating each other, because from our previous relationship, we felt like, you know, learning from that, we needed to communicate more to have a better relationship. So yeah, that's how we overcame it. We just talked it out. Anyways, I think that is as many questions that I can fit in today. This video is going to be super long if I continue. But thank you guys so much for just, you know, tuning in, just sharing this time with me. And I hope that I can add some value back to your lives, and hopefully you can take something away from this. So yeah, I'm really grateful for that. Thank you guys so much. Sorry I had a little bit of a meltdown. I'm only human too, so you got to see a side of Tina that is not normally like that on video. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit me up with those questions, any topics that you want me to cover, and let me know. And I'll definitely try to film more heart-to-heart talking videos with you guys. That's it for now. I'll speak to you guys next time. Bye.